I've seen an animal in my bed. Shout out to everyone that has seen an animal in their bed. Hopefully you're married. But we're not.
Well, I'm not married, but
You've never seen an animal in your bed, then?
yeah, I have.
Okay.
Me.
Oh. Wait. How?
I'm so wild, boy.
Yeah.
I kick and I hit. I mean, my own sister told me. All right.
Shout out to everyone that are wild sleepers.
Oh, yeah, by the way, this is part 2. If you haven't watched, excuse me. If you haven't listened to part 1, go ahead and click on part 1 before you click on part 2.
That's
because this is part 2 of Flow.
Yeah, absolutely. That's usually how it works, people. Whoever clicks on part 2 first and then go back to part 1, it's perfectly fine. But
sometimes I do that.
You're unique.
Sometimes I do that.
And if you did make the mistake, like Carla always does, and click on part 2 first, this is corny culture.
Always.
This is corny culture.
But yes, corny culture with Rhea and Carla. And
wait, that sucked. Let's do this again. Corny culture, Rhea and Carla. Let's go. Part 2. Let's do it. Flow.
And anyway, and I was about to say that, I am an animal. I'm such an animal. I am such an animal.
She's arrogant.
My little sister, I slept with my little sister one time because I went over their house and I stayed over. I stayed the night. Mm-hmm. So my sister and I, we slept. And my sister is 12, but she's going to turn 13 this year.
Yeah, that's usually
that's
what happens.
And so we're a lot of years apart.
Yeah.
And
40.
I'm sleeping with her. Mm-hmm. She's already asleep, so I crawl into the bed. And, one thing leads to the other. It just night, sun, moon, hides, sun comes up, rises. Because we have a farm. I mean, they have a farm.
Right. And
so it's like this chicken, I don't know, this rooster. And it's like, and I'm like, oh my gosh. Yes, it's horrible. So,
wake yo up.
And so, we're walking downstairs. And she's already in the kitchen because she's about to eat.
Bookmark. Who gave the rooster permission to wake up the whole farm? Who said, look here, I'm leaving you in charge to make sure we all doing what we supposed to do? Who made him the alarm clock of the farm? The cows hate that little dude. Mm-hmm. But he always go to the top of the farm to where he's protected. Everybody, he's probably the most hated.
Yeah.
The neighbors hate him. The owner hate him. The cows hate him. The pigs hate him.
Yeah.
The foxes really hate him. Mm-hmm. The sheep hate him. Mm-hmm. The horses hate him. Mm-hmm. He hate himself.
Because you can't help it.
He can't help it. He out of control. But shout out to you. He's actually that has now become my favorite animal because he don't care about nobody else.
Or himself.
He gonna get the job done. That's what I'm talking about, people. Sacrifice yourself for your job. So if you work at an office, sacrifice yourself. You type to the bone. And then when they say go home, you working too hard. You say I'm staying. You type to the bone. And I'm staying, and I ain't even doing it for overtime. And then you hit that alarm clock and you wake up and say, oh my God, baby, I had the worst nightmare ever. I was working for free. That's what's gonna happen.
And so, we're downstairs and they're eating breakfast. And so I'm like, hey, everybody, good morning. And everybody's like, good morning. And my little sister muffles. And I'm like, and I look at her.
She looked at you.
And she looked at me.
And I was mad.
And I looked at her.
Is she ready to fight?
And she looked at me with a swollen lip.
And I'm like,
and it was busted.
And I looked at her and
I was like, oh no, what happened? And she was like, you happened.
When you going home?
Please tell me you're not staying another night. Please.
If you're staying another night, I'll sleep on the couch.
And it's so funny because we recently slept together.
So you bust her lip while you asleep?
Yes, I did.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. I'm an animal. Yeah. And we recently slept together. This 2 weekends ago, we recently slept together, and it was fun because we didn't go to sleep until really, really late. She had a mouth on her that day, and so she didn't want to go to sleep. So we went to sleep around like 2 a.m. Yeah.
She tried to keep you awake.
It worked.
Yeah. She remember
we watched I don't know if you've ever watched the movie.
Yeah, absolutely. That's one of my favorite movies.
The movie
I love that movie.
The Titans. We Are the Titans.
Remember the Titans?
Remember,
The football movie?
Yeah, absolutely. You have?
Yeah.
Isn't it a great movie?
Yeah.
Isn't In it.
Ain't it?
In it.
Ain't I? Ain't I? Ain't I?
We cried.
Ain't I? Ain't I? Yeah, it was a real good movie. Real good movie.
I like it.
It's a barrier breaker. It's a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
Denzel Washington played that role.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, he always plays this role. Shout out to
Yes, he does.
Denzel. Hey, if you ever need a stunt double, hit me up, bro.
What is that recently movie that he played? Was it Denzel that he played that movie? And it was I went to the theaters and I watched this movie. I went to the movie theaters and I watched it and it was really good. And I ended up crying. It was this old movie and he kind of had a limp on him and he hated his kid. I feel it's like he hated his kid.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's gonna be on my mind. Anyway, well, I can't wait to look it up.
You talking about when his son played baseball?
Yes. And he used to play baseball, but he
didn't want to play because he knew that he wasn't going to make it. What was it called? Fences or something like that?
Fences. Yeah. That was Denzel Washington, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was him.
Yeah. Oh, wasn't it good?
Yeah. I mean, everything he plays in is good, man.
It is. I kind of was very angry and I kind of hated him. Yeah. But if you hate the character, if you hate the person, that means that person played it well.
They played it well.
Because it's so good when you're like, I hate him.
Yeah.
I hate it.
Yeah.
You don't hate the movie. You just hate that person.
You hate the role that he played. Mm-hmm. That's pretty dope.
Yeah.
So when that's pretty awesome.
And I think it's perfect with the topic of going with the flow.
So, okay. If you guys have been listening this long, this far, flow, let's break it down. Flow. Don't go against the grain because I personally myself have been going against the grain in a lot of things, When it comes to flow, you just allow everything to flow. You don't have to worry about your friendship, your partnership, or your marriage, or anything that you're working to build it on. Everything will flow accordingly how it's supposed to. You feel me? You don't have to. Flow is allowing things to take form, allowing things to go as they're supposed to go. You don't have to worry about your significant other. Allow things to flow. And if they show you who they are the first time, it's okay to have forgiveness. But if it damages the way you allow things to flow, maybe then you shouldn't give that person a second chance in that particular area.
Right.
In my opinion.
Yeah. And I think that when you do have someone that is there for you and encourages you and not necessarily goes against the flow, but goes with the flow, with your flow, even if you're going against the current. I think that's a keeper in my world. Old
head asked me, he asked me one day, he was like, you trust the person holding your ladder? I said, what now? He said, you trust the person that's holding your ladder. I said, are you saying letter? Ladder. Later? Ladder. Could you spell that? I said, oh, ladder. Like you climb up. Yeah, boy, that's what I said. Well, you didn't pronounce it. But anyway, in essence, what they mean, he said, do you trust the person that's holding your ladder? Can they support you as you're going higher? You know what I mean? Are they there? Are they rocking the ladder? Or are they keeping it strong and steady, ensuring that you get to the highest spot and potential that you're supposed to be? And that's what it is about, going with the flow. If you have questions that person is holding the ladder.
Yeah. If you're even
if you rocking on that ladder as you're going higher.
Yeah.
If you're doubting, just climb down that ladder. Say, don't worry about it. I got this one. Because that spot can be for somebody that actually is willing, ready, and excited to hold that ladder and watch you climb.
And sometimes, you have to check yourself because you might be that person that is rocking the ladder.
And that's what I was about to say, too. And just because you found the person that is holding your ladder, now you have to ask yourself that question. Am I going to hold the ladder for that person? You know what I mean? And that's what it's about. Do you have that same mindset, that same spirit to see the person? You got to take turns. Now you got to hold the ladder for them. Do you want to see them go higher? And if you want to see them go higher, if you don't want to, well, you're a butthole if you don't want to see somebody go higher. Yeah. You need to flow out of here, dude. Mm-hmm. But
and in this certain, I think that one thing that Rhea and I were talking about last night, it's so important that in this day and age we are so infatuated with something, and that something is social media. And personally, Rhea and I are no longer on social media, so we've eliminated that infatuation out of our lives. And when I tell you that it feels amazing to just...
And for everyone that is on social media and using it properly for what it is, and and have things under control, the reason why I stepped away personally, I didn't have control over it, so I wasn't strong enough to handle it. For all of you, it's just like alcohol. I'm not saying social media is equivalent to alcohol, but too much. I
would say it is. I would say that
too much
of anything can kill you.
Yeah, absolutely. Too much of anything is bad for you. And I don't know. I guess an old saying, some wise person told me. Well, I think it was me. No, I'm joking. But the less you are distracted, the more focused you are. And if you turn that around, the more focused you are, the less distracted you are. And I'm not saying that social media is a distraction. Some people use it straight for business purposes or for what it was intended to do. Catch up with people from the past or however. But people, let's not.
Or keep in touch with family, which
absolutely.
I know it's very difficult to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
In this day and age.
For me personally, I wanted to, I don't know, just wanted to alleviate myself from anything that was feeding my anxiety, because I told you guys, just being transparent, I was a little anxious for things, and it's human nature to be anxious and excited for the future, but that's the whole thing about flow is allowing everything to take its course.
You start to covet a lot of things that you see on social media.
You start
from
to get antsy.
Else.
You begin to get antsy.
Yeah, you start to be jealous, and then jealousy isn't a good trait. I mean,
absolutely.
Not
saying that everyone is, but jealousy.
Right. But I'm certain that I was.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was. We were because, we saw all of these things that we wanted, and we said, this is how.
This is keeping it real. Jealousy isn't saying I don't want that person to have it. I want to have it. That's not jealousy. That's just
jealousy is how come they have it and I don't.
I work just as hard. That's jealousy.
Yeah, that's jealousy.
If you're not saying that person doesn't deserve it, but you're saying that you deserve it too because they have it. That's jealousy. You know what I mean? And it's a very subtle form of jealousy. Like,
yeah, it is.
You can be excited for that person, say, "Oh yeah, I see you,
right.
but you want it as well." That's
and
jealousy.
It's like, I see you, but
I
want it too.
Yeah,
like I work as hard, or maybe even a little bit harder.
And it's human nature. It's human nature.
And we start to assume things that we don't know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like we don't know how hard they work. We don't know for how long they worked.
Exactly.
Everybody has their own path.
Everyone has, and that's what we're talking. This whole thing was about flow.
Yeah.
Everyone has their own path, and we found our path. Everything that we do, we are excited to allow things to flow and make form itself.
Yeah.
And
I think it's a great analogy. I mean, not an analogy. It's just our life. It's true.
So we encourage
These
everyone.
These are facts.
We encourage everyone to flow because, man, think about it. Flow. It's allow everything to flow. Friendships, partnerships. Even stop overthinking.
We just had pancakes and eggs. I mean, we gonna let them flow.
Flow. And the thing about flow. And I want to encourage people, if you have something on your mind and you've been working really hard for it, but you're either skeptical, you're either doubtful, or even fearful of making that next statement or move in your life, go ahead and do it. Flow. Flow. Take that opportunity. Take that risk. Take that chance. It's not really a chance if you have the confidence behind it. Flow with it. Just allow everything to flow. Don't go against the grain, and I want to encourage more people to do that. Flow. And the importance of flowing. Continue to have fun, man. When we come up here, I'm excited to get in the studio with her because we just allow things to flow. And that's what it's about, flow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like you can tell, a lot of this stuff isn't scripted. So
I'm reading from a fortune cookie. It's a big fortune cookie. What if all this was on a fortune cookie? An hour worth of talking on a fortune cookie.
I saw your fortune on the ground in the bathroom, and it was about friends.
Yeah. I meant to put it in the toilet.
And guess what? I think we've been receiving a lot of fortune cookies. Right. I mean, no, not fortune cookies, but we've been receiving a lot of fortunes. And the tellings and the fortunes are saying something about friends. So we must have some eager friends that, I mean, some millionaires out there want to meet us so bad.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
I'm claiming that.
We want to meet you
I'm
too.
manifesting that it was
Come
their
on.
millionaire.
Come on. Come on.
They're ready to be our best friends. Because
come on in.
our last fortune cookies have definitely
Come
said,
on in.
your friends.
Come
The
on
happy
in.
joys of
Come on,
life.
Come on.
All right.
Come on. Come on.
Bring it in.
Come on. Come on. Come on.
Bring
come
it
on,
in.
Come on in.
And it's not like a
on
friend
in.
because I already have my best friend.
Come on in.
But they said other
Come on
friends,
in.
like multiple friends. I'm like, come on.
If you got a yacht, come on in.
Hey,
Come on in.
hey,
Come on in.
hey,
Come on in. If you got
Yeah.
a private
Yeah.
jet, come on in.
Hey,
Come on in. Come on in. Come on in.
Hey,
If you investor, come on in. If you got a car, come on in. If you got a house, come on in. If you got a horse, come on in. Okay, it might sound bad that we only want you for your things, but that's exactly what it is. We only want your stuff, but come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. No, really. We're inviting all new friends. You know, like that's what life is about. It's about having fun, making friends, being kind, being sweet, and just allowing life to flow. So we want to let everything flow. Like when you go to the bathroom and you're flushing it down the toilet and it's just making rings around the toilet, leaving marks, but it's still flowing. That's what life is about. You got to make your mark on people, you know? You got to let them know you've been here. Wherever you go, it got to smell like you.
But you don't have to smell like everything you've been through.
Ooh, hold on now. Say that one more time for the people in the front.
Absolutely.
You spit on them. They ain't hear you. They was distracted.
Absolutely. I mean, he said, everywhere you go has to smell like you.
Got to smell like
But you ain't got to smell like everywhere you've been.
You ain't got to smell like it. You ain't got to smell like it. But yeah,
It's
man.
good to leave your mark everywhere you go.
Absolutely.
But it isn't good to take a little piece of wherever you've been with you and for it to be very shown on you. I mean, and that's when, you know, you start to experience a lot of anxiety and frustration and
Man,
doubt.
tell me
and,
about it.
And,
So,
and
people-
nasty spirits. Mm-hmm.
People, it's completely normal to suffer from a smidget of jealousy. And
But if you know it, do better.
no, I mean, a lot of people don't really know that little, I deserve it too, you know. You do deserve it.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, just allow everything to flow, you know. And I'm not saying that social media is the breeding ground for whatever the case may be. Like I said, if you doing your thing
last night I was reading.
if you're doing your thing on social media, keep doing your thing. If you're doing your thing in life, keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
But
and if you are on social media, I was reading something that's going to help you. Just know when to say no. Know the appropriate days and the appropriate times to say no. Because there are certain things that you have to say no and you have to turn a blind eye to. And, you know, if you know these things and you know right from wrong,
right.
you know, learn how to say no. Challenge yourself, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get that self-discipline inside of you
Yep,
and be self-controlled and say, you know what, this ain't for me.
Yeah, it ain't for you.
Learn when
That's
to
what
say
corny
it.
culture
This
is
ain't
all
for me.
about.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's all about, people. This ain't for me. So if you got that mentality, look here, this ain't for me. Look here, you part of the crew. What it do? Tell your friend, tell your boo to tell another boo, and then y'all, guess what? Y'all just booed up. That's what it's about. But yeah, absolutely. I like how you brought that back around. You know, it ain't for me. That's what corny culture is all about.
Mm-hmm. It ain't for me.
It ain't for me. You know, and be comfortable in your journey, your process, and I had to learn that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Everybody has to.
Yeah, in you know, a phenomenal way. I want to share this with you. Something that, you know, I was fortunate enough to come across. The thing about today and myself, I'm speaking only for myself. The reason why I became so anxious is because I had became result driven. You know, I lost sight of why I was doing it because I was temporarily excited about what can come from it versus enjoying doing
the process.
it. Just enjoying doing it, period. You know what I mean?
Being in the present.
Being in the present. And that's it. People, so live in the present, you know?
Yeah.
That'll alleviate you from stress, anxiety, weariness,
doubt,
fear,
Yeah.
skepticism, whatever. Crabs, listen. Live in the present.
So make sure to live in the present and be like, hey, I need to ask you something real quick.
Yeah, you gotta, before we
eat anything.
Before I try on your underwear, you gotta, like the girl asked Carla before she tried on the hat, you got crabs. So before you.
No, you got lice.
I mean, you got lice. Same thing. Crabs, lice, same thing. So she's like, you got lice. So before you do anything,
Don't say, they asked me, do I have crabs?
Ouch. You know what I mean? Lice. Same thing. Same difference.
No, it's not.
Yeah. So, enjoy the flow. And we appreciate you guys for tuning in for episode number 43, I'm sorry. Both
43.
43.
Part one and two.
So make sure you go listen to them simultaneously or how you're supposed to.
Back to back.
But if you are awesome and you would like to listen to the second verse first and then you want to hear the first, that's completely cool. Go with your flow.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. I'm not going to tell you how to flow. You do it. That's what it's all about. Stick to your own flow.
Mm-hmm. We're just here to give you a little excitement.
We're nobodies. You know, this is your world. We're just corny. That's all. But that's all we have for today.